Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Okie Podcast. On today's episode, I have such an amazing guest. He is Dallis Kolakowski, otherwise known as KOKO. He is the new and the very first nightlife champion of American Wrestling Revolution. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Man, that was great to hear. That's one of the first times it's actually been announced like that. So, yeah, that's great.
Very professional.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. So thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on and bringing your belt. So sorry I don't have video yet. Working on it, but this man brought his nightlife championship belt. It is a beautiful belt with alligator skin.
It's alligator, yeah.
Alligator skin. Yeah.
I love the colors on it. It's perfect for nightlife, what they want to do. So
yeah.
Man.
It looks really dope. And it's brand new.
Yeah, brand new. First to hold it, so it's I love it. It's perfect for me. Be my first one.
Yeah.
It's everything I wanted.
Hell yeah.
Man, thanks for thanks for inviting me out. I've been excited about this. So.
Oh, I know. Like, I've been excited too. Like, honestly don't even. I think it was Riker that I think he shared one of your pictures or something.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, all right, I got to get in contact with this guy. So I think I added you, and that's when we kind of started talking. But maybe that was a few months ago. So we've been like super busy though.
Yeah.
But finally
made it happen.
Finally, the KOKO has arrived.
So yeah, Riker's been a big supporter, ever since I really got my start with it. So, hell of a guy. Yeah. I loved him being your first guest on your first podcast. Oh man, that was hilarious.
Man, Riker's so dope, man. Like, I can't wait for him.
So many funny stories.
Yeah, like he's got like hilarious stories. I loved his Marine stories. When what was it? Oh shit. Somebody broke something and he was like, "My goddamn Bob the Builder," or something. I was cracking the fuck up.
Oh my god, he's such a character. He can make just anybody laugh out of whatever situation that transpires.
Bro, I was so nervous like when he came over and got on. Like, I was like, God, I don't want to like waste this guy's time. But he like made me feel at ease though. Like, he's like so like, I don't know, just welcoming.
Yeah,
like he kept it going and everything, and I was like, this is cool. Like, this is easy. Like.
So I first met him at the gym. Like, I was still a trainer back then, and he would just come in and work out, and he's just jacked.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's just, he's an actor, so he's gotta really stay fit, stay lean. That dude's strong though.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
Yeah, he's jacked, man. He's pretty built. I wanted to tell him like, cause he does stunts and stuff too. I was like, I wanted to say like, you should try pro wrestling, like.
I've tried to bring him in.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
have you?
I have tried. Yeah, him and our other buddy Trey Bronson.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we would run the best stable ever. If I could pick anybody, those are the guys that I want.
Damn.
Like, just right by my side.
Evolution.
Oh man, native revolution. That's it. That's it.
That'd be fucking dope.
So I wanted to. Me and Trey used to work out a lot together, and we'd talk about it. We'd run ideas past each other, and man, I still try to get him because I think with his dad's martial arts academy, like he's already got a good base under him. He's just got to I would just show him what he needs to be shown.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And Riker could definitely do it. That dude's so athletic and already does, his fight scenes. Just got punched in the face on reservation dogs. Oh my god, I'm loving that shit.
Fuck, that show is so good. It's just so smooth.
Yeah.
I mean,
hits home. Hits right at home.
Yeah, I mean and fuck anybody who's hating on it. I don't know why people are hating on it.
I've heard no negative.
I've seen some.
Really?
I've seen some stupid shit. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like I don't know. Just somebody just said reservation dog sucks now, but there was like no explanation to why. And then in the comments, people are
always hating on.
I was like, well, show them your shit. Like, what can you do? Like, like Make your own like TV show or something.
Were
like,
they native? Like,
yeah, I mean, huh?
were they native?
Yeah.
This is what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Had to
Like,
hit that unfriend button.
don't need that negativity in here.
For real, like, I don't know. It's like, why not, be supportive of, I mean, this is big, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's a big
I've been
thing.
looking forward to this. Like, me and Trey Riker, like, they've been telling me about this stuff, for, I want to say, like, years. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know how long, like, Sterling's been planning this, but or, like, writing this out. But, dude, I love it. I've been looking forward to this for forever. Like,
Yeah.
when it finally drops, I've watched that first episode so many times. So I watched it on repeat, just over and over.
It was dope, man. Did you go to that premiere?
I didn't know. I wanted to. That was actually when I was doing my my noise interview.
Oh, okay.
The group that I donate my money to for my shirts. I donate $5 every shirt that I sell.
Okay.
So and that goes to Noise, which is the Northeast Oklahoma Indigenous Safety and Education Group. So they do phenomenal work for the victims of missing and murdered Indigenous women, people, relatives. So they're always doing good stuff for them and their families and helping them out, sharing things on Facebook. I mean, it's simple things, even just like sharing a post of this, missing person, so they do a lot of good work.
A lot of great work. Yeah. And it's Noise?
It's easy. Like, yeah, it's easy to just like do something simple like that and just share this post real quick or like, but they do so much more than that. They're going to, activist, events. Like, they're very big. Like, when Ida's law got passed, they went down to Oklahoma City, I think, and a couple of them were trying to get me to go out there, but I had to work, so but yeah, they do great things.
Yeah. Stupid work.
Yeah, I know. That's why we got held up for a couple hours today. So.
Oh yeah,
but whatever, got it figured out. Got to figure out the best I could, I guess. So.
Stupid door.
Like I said, we never close. So I was just like, yeah, man, it'll close. Like, no. Didn't work.
Good.
Couldn't get it locked up. And then, like, whenever I did finally get it locked up, then I couldn't get it open. And I was like, this is not good. I called my boss, and he was on some call or something. He was just like, I was like, do I call the door people or do I call it locksmith? He was like, no, just call it locksmith. All right, cool. And I don't know what my problem is with locked door, like with these doors that won't lock, but this happened last year. The same thing. Like, it was whenever we first went back 24/7, and it was like the very last day we were closing, and my assistant manager at the time, it was like her first day getting promoted. Like, she was brand new. That was like her first shift as assistant manager, and she texted me and she was like, I think I broke the door. And I was like, what do you mean you broke the door? And she was like, I can't get it to shut. Like, the bar at the top is stuck. It's outside the door. And I can't use the key to get it open. And I was like, oh my God. I went up there and I was up there for like 4 hours. I was up there till like 1 o'clock, just hanging out. And this is like I said, we don't close a lot. So during COVID, during the shutdown, I picked up the hobby of skateboarding. And I didn't get very far in it, but I started skateboarding because I've always wanted to skateboard, but I never had like a skateboard growing up or anything. So
Yeah.
I had one, and I think I fell off at one time when I was young, and I was just like, oh, screw this. I'm not doing that no more. So, but that's always one of the coolest things. Like, growing up, I was like, skateboarding's so cool. I used to play Tony Hawk all the time. And so during COVID and during the lockdown when I wasn't working or whatever, I would just go to my gym, and then I'd work out, and then I'd skate the parking lot and just try to pick up on it. I got okay where I could like kind of go around, but I remember that night specifically, I was like going, and we have great cameras in our parking lots, and so he was fixing the door, and I was just cruising along, and the board slipped right out in front of me, and I landed on my ass, and I was like, I checked the time instantly, and I was like, all right, I gotta go back and look at that camera, and I have that saved on my phone somewhere. And it was just me. That board just went right out from under me.
No.
It was hilarious though.
Yeah, my buddy was trying to teach me how to do I think it's an ollie. That's like the real simple one, right? Where you just kind of
you
lift
go,
up.
Yeah, just go up. Yeah.
He's trying to teach me how to do that at IA, and it's like all you do is do this, and you come up and you just land on it. Kick it and land on it. And I was like, okay. So I kept trying it, and I wasn't really getting off the ground. I was real scared, and finally, man, I got off the ground, and I could have landed it, but my right foot slipped underneath me. Fucking that board went flying out under me, and I fell right on my ass, and it fucking hurt. And then like there's an activity going on that night, so everybody seen me fall, and that board just shot out to whoever's playing basketball across the basketball court. And man, I got up, like I hopped up like nothing was wrong or anything. I was like, oh shit,
it just hurt.
Yeah, and then fuck, man, my ass hurt for like a week. Like I fell right here, man. I'm pretty big. Like I fucking all my weight just fell right on this fucking, not my butt, but like right here on my hip or whatever.
See, that's my problem too. Like I carry like a lot of weight. Like I'm like people are always surprised at how much I weigh, but I weigh like 275. So like I'm pretty solid, like my chest or whatever. So I'm like, I don't know, it's hard. It's harder for bigger guys.
Yeah.
So my one buddy, my best friend Jordan, he's really good. He's about my size too, but he grew up doing that, so he's just a natural. He's got he ollies no problem. I've recorded him many times just ollieing and kick flipping and everything.
Yeah, you just have to stick to it, I guess. I'm too scared. Like,
same.
I don't want to fall and snap my arm or some shit. My dumbass will try to catch myself.
Yeah, that was one of the big. That was some of the best advice I got. They were like, "Okay, you're a pretty bigger guy, so like if you fall, just roll whatever way you can." And I'm like, "Well, what if I'm flying back?" They're like, "Just roll back," and I'm like,
"Oh god,
all right, I'll try, but whatever."
Oh shit!
So it was so funny because like I said, this was like my little project I was trying to learn during the lockdowns. So like I would just go up to my gym, check things out. That's what I was supposed to be doing, checking things out. I'd get my workout or whatever, and then afterwards just do my cardio, is just trying to learn to skate. And it was funny because like I said, this is in Claremore at the time, and so Claremore's relatively like, it's a close-knit community, and so like people driving down Lynn Riggs Boulevard all the time, like it's the same people, like they know you, and like that's one of the only gyms in Claremore. So a lot of people go there, so I'd be going around like skating the parking lot or something, and then I hear like, yo, hey! People honking or whatever, and I'm like, what's up?
Oh shit.
That's when I fall. I know some people were doing it on purpose, but yeah, I'd have people pull up. They'd be like, "Hey man, when are you gonna open back up?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like, we'll get there eventually." So, granted, we were only closed down for like 2 months, so it felt like a long time. But in that moment, like, we didn't know. So, I was just like, "Man, I don't know when we're gonna open back up."
So weird how everything just fucking shut down.
Yeah,
it's so fucking weird.
And then everything transpired. Like we were talking about Zoom earlier. Like how Zoom just like blew up after COVID. Like that's like, I mean,
shout out Zoom.
Shout out Zoom.
Once
I
again,
guess. Yeah.
I shouted you out like a couple episodes ago.
Like, come on, man. We're trying.
Come on, man. Get over. Oh fuck. Damn, bro. So for the listeners, could you tell, where you grew up and then what was growing up like? Did you move around a lot, and what kind of just led into, I guess, wanting to become a wrestler?
Yeah.
I probably know the answer to that, but for them.
Oh yeah, for them.
Yeah.
For the people. Let's see. So I grew up, I'm from Tulsa, like born and raised. So. Went to Sperry in kindergarten, and then went through TPS all the way to like 8th grade. 8th grade, yeah. 8th grade, I transferred over to Union, so I went to, I don't know if you know where Cooper is, Cooper Elementary, and then Foster. And then in 8th grade, I went to Union. And that school is just too damn big. Like, you got to be like a lifer to really enjoy going to Union, I feel like. And me going there in 8th grade, not knowing anybody, like, I was gonna go to East Central, and that's where I eventually ended up graduating from. So, which is cool because that's where my aunt went to.
East Central.
Yeah. So, went to Union for like 3 years, and made friends, but it just wasn't home. It wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in Tulsa Public Schools. And so my junior year ended up moving back, and it was cool because then I got to graduate with like all the people that I went to elementary school with, all the people that I went to middle school with, and just people that I actually grew up with instead of, meeting these, kids from Union or whatever, which are cool kids, like whatever. But it was just, I didn't really feel like I fit in the best. So, and then, I graduated from East Central. It was really small growing up. I was like the smallest on my team. Like no matter what I played, baseball. I tried football, but I was just too small. Like, I graduated and I was like 155 pounds.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
What the fuck?
People think I was like this way all the time, and I'm like, oh no, like no. I grew up and I was a twig. I was so small.
Wow.
I don't know if you saw that one poster or whatever of my mom when I won the belt. I was comparing. That was me wrestling when I was like 7 years old, and then me, this past Saturday when I won the belt. And dude, I'm like a little skinny twig. Like, I look like one of these little microphone stands right here. Like, I was so small.
Damn.
And I graduated like 155. I played baseball growing up. I wrestled all the way up until I want to say 5th grade. Yeah, I wrestled all the way up to 5th grade, so all through elementary. I loved it, and then I ended up breaking my hand right before regionals, and that just kind of took all the steam out of me. And I didn't make state. That was the first year that I didn't make state in all the years that I wrestled. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I decided I was going to take a year off and then, go back to it. But then I got fat. So I went through my chubby stage. And I was like, screw this. I'm not going back to wrestling because losing all this weight now, it's going to be 10 times harder.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I should have just done that because it would have just came off like nothing probably. But yeah, I went through a little bit. I went through my chubby phase. And then by my senior year, got started working out. My first real experience of working out was P90X. My mom got P90X. I ordered it online, and I'd watch my little brother in the summers, and we'd just be home or whatever, messing around all day, started doing P90X, and that was some of the first exercises that I still use today that, I really started. Like, that's where I, like, kind of learned from. And I would do everything except the yoga. I was like, I'm not doing that yoga. Like, that's for chicks. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I did that yoga one day, and I was like, this will be easy. Like, I'll get through this like nothing. Oh my God. That was the hardest video in that whole workout collection. Like, yoga is so hard, but it's so good for you too.
Yeah.
Like, after that, like, I became such a, I praise yoga now. Like, there's so much, so much you can do. It's so helpful. I really miss stretching out like that consistently. Like, whenever I was a trainer, like, I train people, like some people like 5 times a week. And then I'll kind of save that for, like, I'll get to men training. But yeah, so after high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't big. Like, I wanted to play baseball in college, but I just wasn't big enough. Like, I wasn't getting looked at anywhere. Like, wasn't the best. Like, I was okay. Like, I was a good fielder. Like, I could play anywhere. Like, I was always a utility player growing up. Growing up, I could play anywhere. I caught a lot in elementary, and then played about everywhere except shortstop. Second base, third base, outfield. Didn't really like outfield. That was a lot of running. Not a fan of running.
Yeah.
I remember my senior year, though, I played first base, and I'd never played first base in my life. And the coach he was like, dude, we don't have anybody who can stop the ball. Like, I need you at first base. I was like, Coach, I've never played first base in my life, but I'll do it for you. I'll do it, man. Like, I don't know how good I'll be, but whatever, I'll try it. So, and yeah, I didn't do too bad. Ended up breaking my finger on senior night, and didn't get to do playoffs or whatever. But my team wasn't very good my senior year, so it was like I was one of two seniors. So, like the rest of it was just like freshmen and sophomores. we weren't we weren't the best. So, whatever. So didn't really have a plan after high school. Wanted to go to college if I could play a sport. Almost went to Haskell. Really thought about going to Haskell. That's where my mom and my aunt went. My dad even went there for a little bit. And just, I don't know. College just wasn't in my plan. Like, I just didn't feel the need to go, the urge to go. I felt like 12 years of school was, like, good for me. I'm like, no, I'm good on that. So, started working at this. I was working at this car wash as soon as I can drive. So I was working there for a little bit after I graduated, and then eventually I started working at this one manufacturing plant, and it was cool money, but that's about it. Like, I stayed there a lot longer, probably because of the people. I learned a lot of good leadership. I had a lot of good leadership role models in that company. I don't know, they were really understanding and like really let me kind of go through my dumb 18, 19, 20-year-old mistakes, and they were really patient with me. And so I learned had a lot of good leadership that I learned from. So while I was doing that, eventually I was working out at Planet Fitness, and so just going in there as a member. I was going in there like twice a day. I got into working out when I was like 19, like kind of serious. Like I didn't really know what else to do in my spare time. I'd get off work, and then I was living with my dad at the time, and he always like put it in my head to make sure that I was taking care of myself because he had a lot of health issues. He passed away when I was 20. He battled a heart disease for like 15 years. Triple bypass surgery, like open heart surgery. Eventually, like his arteries and like ventricles just like kind of closed off one by one. He had a lot of blockage, and there's nothing we could do. So he didn't let it hinder him though. He was like always the life of the party, and that's what a lot of people say. Like, I'm the reflection of him, and just like him, and I sleep the same. And if I'm drinking and I'm having a good time, I'm usually end up in the same sleeping positions or same looks or something. So my dad was the life of the party, big inspiration to me. So after he passed away, the gym was just where I wanted to be. Like, he really drilled that into my head to take care of myself. And so I do 5 a.m. workouts because I had to be at work at 6 at the manufacturing plants, McElroy Manufacturing. Like I said, great company, but just wasn't what I wanted to do all my life. I always had aspirations of professional wrestling, but I just didn't have a way to do it. Eventually, like I said, started doing training, or I started working there just part-time. So I was working like 7 days a week between McElroy and Planet Fitness. And I would do the weekend morning position at Planet Fitness and just kind of learn front desk. So I was just part-time. Eventually, the trainer spot opened up. In the summer before that opened up, we actually got an opportunity from Tulsa Tech to do a trainer course through the American Council of Exercise. And so I did that course, and the trainer spot came open, and I was like, yeah, I feel like this is like, I'd be good at it. Like, people were already like coming to me all the time, just like asking me what my workout routine is. Like, what can I do? Oh, what's that working out? Like, and I'd just be like, man, I think I could like be successful at this. So I started training, and one of the best, probably my favorite position, definitely my favorite position that I ever worked for Planet Fitness. It's just, I got to help people, and that was cool. It's cool, like, people losing weight, but really what I like to do is help people improve on their health issues. Like, people losing 10, 20 pounds, that's great, but people who cut their insulin medicine, like not taking their insulin medicine anymore, cut their blood pressure medicine in half, go to the doctor comes back to me, man, my doctor loves what we're doing. Like, they're so happy with my progress. Like, I just want to keep going. Like, that was really what kept me motivated, and that was the stories that I like to, I'd like to hear. But yeah, I eventually got so busy as a trainer that all my classes are booked. Planet Fitness is just really cool with the way they do their training, because they offer free fitness training, and no one else does that. You might get like a free session somewhere, but you can literally go to Planet Fitness, get a free trainer. And that was really something that I wanted to do for like just native people, really help them with their goals. We actually had plans to build a club in Glenpool, and so I really want to open that club and just really like be able to reach out to Glenpool, Sapulpa, Okmulgee. That's where my dad's from, so
Okay.
Creek Nation out there. So
Yeah.
that's what I am. I'm Creek.
Creek.
So, but yeah, after training, I saw a lot of my friends go up into management and just kind of get just tossed around in it and just like kind of in over their head. Like, really looking back now, some of them just weren't doing their jobs. I guess my best friend Jordan, he was my manager at the time, but he gives me a lot of credit. He's like, dude, you're such a better manager than me. Than I was. And I'm like, hey man, I'm good with people. I don't know. There was one manager that really took an interest in me. Will Mensing was his name. Great dude, has a lot of cool stories. He's from Minnesota, and he actually played football against Adam Thielen.
Oh, for real?
And so that's always like a little fun fact that he liked to talk about. But this dude was cool. He lived in Colorado, Hawaii. He just traveled a lot, lived in some cool places. Eventually ended up living in Oklahoma, and then started managing different clubs around the region, and then took over the club that I was at, which is Admiral, which is the club that I'm at now, which is a cool story. We'll get to that. But Will came over to Admiral, and that club is eventful, to say. Tons of different things that we have to deal with from time to time. Just a lot of homeless around there, so we get some interesting characters that try to come in there from time to time. And so that's like the project club a little bit, where like if you don't have a plan going in, it can kind of like eat you alive. But he's so good with people. Will really like took an interest in me. Like, me and him got to know each other, and really just like sports and football and just all this other stuff. And I talked to him a little bit about wrestling, and he just really started taking an interest in me, and really gave me the confidence to believe in myself to be like take that next step into management. And because he was curious why I hadn't stepped in that role before, and I kind of told him like, well, I saw this person kind of go in and go up before they were ready, and then some of my friends would go up one by one, and then eventually just quit or get fired or whatever. And he was like, well, I see that people like to listen to you. They will, you're very good at like helping people like learn things. You're really good with people, and I think you'd be good at management. And lo and behold, at the beginning of 2019, they came out with this new position called shift lead. And he didn't have much information about it, but he was like, I really think you should take this shift lead spot. Like, I think you should interview for it, and then, we'll start kind of showing you some different things in management. I think like it's going to be third in charge, basically. So you got like your GM, your AM, and then your shift lead.
Damn.
And so I was Admiral's first shift lead. It was kind of hard to step away from training, but that was the best possible time for me to step away from training, because as a trainer, one of my other favorite things was not only teaching people how to work out, but really giving them that confidence and really helping them like find a love for it. Like, whenever I saw people like really get excited for the gym, like, oh, I'm so glad to be here after my day at work. Like, that's really like whenever because I love working out. Like, I work out 6 to 7 times a week. Like, it's hard for me to take a day off sometimes. But like seeing people like be that consistent as well, it was awesome to see. Like they like really just like may have started like, well, my doctor wanted me to do this. Well, I just needed to be healthier. But then whenever they actually see those results and then have a love for it and like really get to that point where they don't really like missing a day too, like that was cool to see. So I had sometimes it was people were more dependent on me, and I tried to break them of that feeling, because I'd have to be like, hey, no, like you're gonna go do this today. I have to work with this person because they're brand new. They don't know what to do. Okay, but you can do this. Like do this exercise, like these, and I might have to show them like a thing or two, but like they'd go do it, come back to me, and then be like, yeah, like that was great, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. You can do this. You just have to believe that you can. Mm-hmm. So like, just think about how like all those days that we were working out, and then I would tell you, no, tuck, keep your elbows tight, breathe. Like, think about all these things. Like when you're doing your exercise, if it's not feeling like how it was with me, you might need to tweak something. Like use the mirrors, look at your form, focus on your form. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. If you're doing something right, you're gonna get the benefit out of it. So just helping people build that confidence and really really find that love for it. That's something that I really loved, so it gave me great joy.
Yeah.
So eventually did that shift lead position, and like I said, it was just kind of like learning the ins and outs of management, kind of preparing you. And so eventually we ended up having some fallout with management, because my plan, I'd been at that Admiral Club ever since I started there, and at this point I was probably in probably about 4 years already. And so I planned to go in and do the shift lead position for about like 4 or 5 months, and then probably try to see what assistant manager roles came open, and then I would be like, all right, well, maybe I'll go to Broken Arrow, maybe I'll go to 91st Memorial, 51st Memorial, whatever club. So eventually we had some fallout with management, and the regional manager at the time came to me, and he was like, well, he's actually still with us, but he's my boss now, and he came to me at the time and was like, hey, I want you to do this BER with me, which is like our inspection. Like we get inspected every month, like cleanliness, like atmosphere, just how well we're doing and how well the club's performing. Mainly cleanliness for the BER, but he was like, you're going to do this BER with me, and then after that, we finished up, and he kind of showed me some of the things that he saw through his eyes. And so after he was done, he was like, hey, I want to bring you over for some special operations training at 91st, which is like our corporate club of Tulsa. And so went over there that day, found out there was some trouble at that club, and ended up letting go that manager at the time, and another one quit right around the same time in another club. So they were kind of seeing like who's ready to step up that might not necessarily be an assistant manager, but who's just ready to like step up. Because I was like, oh, I'm a shift lead, I'm not gonna get this general manager spot. So then that following week he came to me and he was like, hey, what clubs would you be interested in running? I was like, what do you mean? He was like managing. Like I was like assistant manager? He was like general manager. I was like, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that too much, but yeah, man, I guess wherever you need me. I said certain clubs I didn't want to go to because I didn't like their culture at the time, and I was like, I might not go here. We have one in Bartlesville too, and I was like, that Bartlesville drive probably is too far for me. Yeah. And I said the same thing about Claremore at first, but by the end of our talk, I was like, if you need me to go out to Claremore, I'd go out to Claremore. And I'd had a conversation with Will actually before this, because he called me and he was like, hey, I think they want to give you that Claremore club. Like, if they offer it to you, I think you really need to take it. And I was like, why would they do that? I'm just a shift lead. Like, I've been doing this for like 3 months at the time. So not even like, I didn't think I was ready at all. But sure enough, they came to me that next week and gave me an offer to go out to Claremore and run that Planet Fitness. And they were like, we're going to put you on this training program where different managers are going to rotate in with you. Like, you'll finish out this week with my manager at the time, Bailey. She's very organized, very, very smart, and good person to learn from. And then I'd go out to that Claremore club and train with that manager for a week. It's funny because they're actually married. It's Derek, and so it was cool because sometimes like Bailey has too much. It's hard to learn from her sometimes. She goes really fast with certain things, and so like then whenever I got with him the next week, I was like, hey, Bailey showed me this, and could you show it to me and how you did it? And like I was like, oh, okay, that's how you do that. And he was like, yeah, I understand. And so, eventually like another manager came out, and another, I had a week with like Riley, who's the RM. He's the regional manager. So he's like over all the locations. Eventually they were like, if everything goes well, you're going to be just instantly promoted from assistant manager to general manager, and this will be your club. And so, yeah, it was cool because that week I got promoted, it was like the second week of March. I remember because it was like right after my mom and my aunt's birthday. They were born on St. Patrick's Day, so it's really easy to remember. So it's always a fun time, always a party. And so I go out to Claremore, and kind of find my own management style, learn how to like run a team. And so the anniversary of my like 1 year being a manager out there, COVID hits. And so COVID's getting like really bad, like right around that same time. And so a day to the year that I got promoted to GM, we shut down. And so I was just like, wow, what an anniversary. So eventually shut down. And then, like I said, we were only closed down for like 2 months. So, recovered, and people like really took an interest in Planet Fitness just because we keep it so clean. Yeah. Like that's really what helps like makes us different from like other like from gyms really. Our level of cleanliness, like we clean all the time, and well, I'd clean a little bit. I hate cleaning, so luckily I have a strong team under me, and they carry a lot of that cleaning load for me. So I'm good with people, so I'll deal with like the angry members, and I'll let them yell at me or whatever, and they handle a lot of them handle the cleaning. So I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I got this. Like I got this guy. So, but yeah, I was really thankful for that journey, because that journey to Claremore is really what landed me my opportunity to get involved in wrestling. And so, met a guy out there. His name's Josh. Just a guy that was coming in, all the time, and eventually he wore a wrestling shirt, and I was just like, oh man, I love those dudes. And like, he was like, oh, well, I'm actually a professional wrestler. And I was like, oh, for real? And he's like, yeah, I wrestle for this local promotion. It's a charity organization. It's called WFC, Wrestling for a Cause. And so kind of like brought me in. But before I get to that, I guess I'll kind of start with like my love for wrestling. So I started watching wrestling when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I was really young. So I remember I started watching wrestling, and I was a WCW kid. I loved Monday Night Nitro and Thunder, and I loved Goldberg. Goldberg was my guy.
That was your guy?
Yeah, that was my guy.
Hold up, real quick. How old are you?
28.
You're 28?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Goldberg was my guy, and it was cool because, he's, lo and behold, he's from Tulsa. He went to Edison. So, I don't know if that was really the reason why I latched on him, but he was just like, it was right whenever he was in like the middle of his streak, and he was just mowing down everybody, won the heavyweight title, and everyone was just like, yeah. And and I'm like, man, that's my hero. That's my childhood hero. And so eventually just never really stepped away from watching wrestling. Always just grew up, always just loved ordering the pay-per-views. My dad would watch them with me and my mom. And eventually my little brother came along when I was 9 years old. And that's really the thing that's kept us so close and bonded was professional wrestling. Because even whenever I started getting older, like high school or whatever, you know, you get to high school and like people are like, you still watch wrestling?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yeah, man, like, love it. And like,
so
yeah, right, yeah. I'm like, so it's they're like, man, you know that's fake, right? I'm like,
oh, God.
whatever, bro, like, whatever. And so me and my little brother, man, that was our bond. Like that was what we looked forward to every Monday night, every Tuesday, Thursday, whatever night, Friday, whatever, you know, night they're having SmackDown. You know, it's moved so much over the years, but yeah, that was really what kept us close growing up. And so I've always just had a love for it. Growing up, whenever I got older, I really loved Eddie Guerrero. So Eddie Guerrero was somebody who was just so entertaining and could just make you love him or make you hate him.
Yeah.
And that's such a cool thing to be able to do because you can like really feed off of people. And now I'm seeing that. And it's just one of the coolest things. But be able to flip that switch between, you know, being a good guy or being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like he was just one of the most entertaining and charismatic people that, you know, ever stepped foot in a ring. And it's so sad when he passed away. I remember WrestleMania 20 whenever him and Chris Benoit were in the middle of the ring, and that was one of just like the greatest moments in wrestling. And whenever Eddie Guerrero passed away, it broke my heart. It was hard. I remember I woke up, I think it was like that Sunday morning, and my mom told me, and I just broke down. I was crying, and it sucked. I was so sad. And then they did such an awesome tribute for him because everyone loved Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
There was not like a single person that didn't enjoy being around that guy. And so
Latino Heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Latino Heat, Viva la Raza. Yeah.
I know it was shocking when he died.
Oh man, it broke my heart. Man, deaths in wrestling are just, man, they're hard. They're heartbreaking.
It's crazy.
It's, you know, obviously like, you know, then Chris Benoit had that whole tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's this one cool documentary series on Hulu called Dark Side of the Ring. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. I love that. Like, I love that. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Did you watch season 3 too?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I kind of just got into it during the shutdown.
Oh, okay.
I started watching them, and because I've heard of it, but I never like.
That's
watched
about
it.
the time that I got into it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
They had that first season, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, started like looking at like, let's see, that was like Macho Man's in that one. I think that Fabulous Moolah's in that one.
Yeah, Moolah. Isn't
then-
Bruiser Brody on there?
Oh yeah, that was a cool one. That was
Yeah.
one I really enjoyed. And then when they came out with season 2, I feel like season 2 was really like they found out what they wanted to do production wise and everything, and then they like season 2 was like what really had them take off because they opened up with that one and 2 part Chris Benoit one, and man, that one was intense, sad, man. But yeah, I love Dark Side of the Ring. It's one of the best little documentaries I can watch.
Are they just on season 3 now?
Yeah, so they actually broke season 3 up into like 2 parts.
Oh, for
So they came out with like 5 or 6 episodes, and they're actually about to start back up. I think it's like September 16th. So
Okay.
we got a couple weeks. So.
all right. I have to catch up.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu now.
Yeah. That's season 1 and 2 were on Hulu. I had to watch season 3 like on YouTube or whatever, and some of them were like choppy or whatever.
Yeah.
And now, like, I don't even know if you can find them on YouTube now. But yeah, like I would always go like the day or the day after. I'd find one, and I'm like, all right, let me try this one. And I'm like, all right, this one's pretty good. And then it like cut out halfway through or something, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Come on, do better, hackers. Or
Come on, guys. Copyright. What are you scared of copyrights? God.
do better, pirates.
So, but yeah, the new season, it already featured Ultimate Warrior, Dynamite Kid. I don't know. It had some good. Oh, one of the best ones was whenever they had that event in North Korea, and I don't know. You hear things about North Korea and you don't really like know if they're true, but you remember that movie that came out, The Interview, with James Franco, and and it's like it's basically like that, where like they couldn't say anything bad about North Korea, and it really like kind of validated like it sounds bad over there. I'm not gonna go, but sounds pretty bad. But yeah, I think some of the newer episodes, I think they're going to be phenomenal. There's this one called The Plane Ride from Hell, and I don't know if you're familiar with that story, but apparently there's some wild things that happened on this airplane.
For real?
Yeah, and it's all just like, it's like, who was involved in that? It's like, Ric Flair was just going crazy, or apparently, and I don't know. It's going to be a good episode. It's going to be a great second half of the season. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Damn.
But yeah, I just always really loved wrestling, and so that was always the dream, and I just didn't have a way to do it. And eventually, when I went to Claremore, I found my way, and so, like I said, my home promotion's this company called Wrestling for a Cause, and it's a charity organization. And so all the proceeds always go to the families of usually kids that are dealing with cancer. And so it's helping out with like their medical bills, family expenses, whatever they're needing. And so I'm really happy to be part of this company. It's it's a really good cause, no pun intended. But yeah, they're cool because as long as you're like coming there, donating your time, helping them set up the ring. That was one of the coolest things about getting in wrestling.
Setting up the ring?
Yeah, learning how like a ring is set up. I don't know what some people think. I've heard like, oh, is it a trampoline under there? Is it is it like spring loaded? And I'm like, oh, it's not spring loaded. Trust me. It's wood under there. There's some plywood.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of padding. Like, it's not much, but yeah, man. Eventually was able to start training. The guy Josh I was talking about, he's really good about showing me like the networking side of professional wrestling, and his former tag team partner, Jeremy, JD, he was actually the one that showed me a lot of in-ring stuff. And so I started training with JD, and it was me and a couple of my other buddies eventually started too. So he's known as the Everyday Man, so we are the Everyday Academy. And yeah, so I really wish those guys were, still involved in it. We lost the ring that we were training in, so our training kind of hindered, but luckily I was going enough where JD and Josh really wanted me to debut at their own little show. So I got to debut at OKX2, which was really cool because I just went to OKX1, just OKX, as a fan. It was just me and my little brother, and there's a really cool picture of the main event, when one of the guys in the main event, Luke Langley, when he was making his entrance, and it's like a close-up on his face, and then in the background you see me and my little brother, and it's cool just me knowing I'm there, just watching as a fan, and then the next OKX show, I got to, make my professional wrestling debut.
Oh, that's dope.
And so, yeah. So before that, though, landed a security role with the cartel. Was a security guard of the Caballero cartel. And so that was cool because I really got to really start being out in front of people, interacting with fans. I'm this bad guy security guard, this bruiser. I just gotta stand there, kind of look intimidating, and so it was cool for me to like really start like interacting with the fans, like talking some shit.
Yeah.
And so while I'm doing this, I'm also training, and so just learning like the ins and outs. Like wrestling is really built on respect in the locker room. You know, you got to be respectful, even if I don't know if you ever noticed like whenever people get inside a wrestling ring, how they wipe their feet.
No, I've never noticed
Probably,
that.
yeah. So like, yeah, next time you're watching, like, kind of like pay attention, like, to you know, just how people get in the ring, and that's like one, it's a show of respect of like the people that came before you,
Oh,
and
shit.
then you know also just helps where you know don't bring nothing into the ring that you know dirt whatever.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's a big sign of respect. You know, you want to go in and shake hands with people, and you know shake hands with everybody. You know, make sure they, you know, if you haven't met them, you know, introduce yourself. Hey, I'm so and so, and it's really cool being backstage and kind of like feeling like people don't really take an interest in you. But then I made my debut, and certain people, I guess, have been watching me. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I got a lot of praise after my debut. They were like, you know, from certain people that I didn't realize were, you know, keeping an eye on me. And they were like, hey, man, you did great out there. Like, I'd love to, you know, work with you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's just, yeah, it's a cool feeling knowing people are, you know, keeping an eye on you, taking an interest. And then when you get to, you know, finally do this, you get to get that praise.
Yeah. Damn. When you started, like, you're a big dude. You look like you're in great shape. Was it hard? Was it hard to like do all these? Because I watch Tough Enough, and the shit that they do, like they make it look like it's hard, like like running back and forth on the ropes. There's a drill where somebody drops and you jump over them and you hit the ropes, and then they get up and you drop too. Like, is it hard to?
These are it man. So, yeah, it's intense. Like,
Intense,
yeah,
that was the word.
If you're,
Yeah, I
if
couldn't
you're
think of
not,
that fucking word.
if you you know, if you don't have that cardio, like it's in ring cardio that you want to have, and like there's nothing like it. Like I said, I try to stay on top of my cardio with my workouts, but I mainly focus on like burning fat. But there is nothing in the gym that I feel like you can be prepared for in the ring. Like certain like there's certain things that you can make comparisons to. Like farmers carries are a good example, just like carrying that extra weight and just like making your walks. But yeah, there's nothing that can compare to like there's not like an elliptical you can get on, there's not a Stairmaster, there's these things called arc trainers that we have at Planet Fitness, and nothing can prepare you to like hit those ropes, you know, do a flip, hit a bump. It knocks the wind out of you. It does all this. It's a lot. You gotta have that in-ring cardio. So we call it getting blown up.
Get
Like,
blown up?
Yeah, if you're blown up, like you're tired. That's when you it's a little dangerous. You might make a mistake or something. So
I've heard that. I've heard Billy Gunn say that on that show. You get blown up. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
He was talking about that with what's his name? Ziggy? I think his name's Ziggy on that show.
Ziggy.
He was always on his ass. I have to show you a clip after the show.
Yeah.
He was always on his ass. I think it's Ziggy.
Was this old Tough Enough or new Tough
This
Enough?
is like new with Lita, Billy Gunn, and was it Prince Albert?
Yeah, Albert A Train. He had a couple different names.
Yeah, A-Train. He was part of that dance group too.
Are you talking about Too Cool?
Too Cool? No, not Too Cool. Oh fuck! Damn it! With oh man, he's that big old tall dude.
Oh, you're talking about the
Tice?
the Funkasaurus.
The Funkasaurus, yes, sir.
Funkasaurus, yeah. Okay, I remember that actually. Yeah. It was back in like what 2010, 2011, I think. Yeah, right around that time. It was like Funkasaurus. I think he was known as Tensai then. Like I think he was Tensai. And
that was his.
Tensai was his. That's what he was
Yes.
running as at that time. And then I think it was like Oh, what did they call it? Something dactyl, like dance something. The Funkadactyls. That's what it was. Yeah, Funkadactyls. Yeah. um, yeah, those Funkadactyls. Yeah, it's crazy because that was Naomi in that little group, and now she's one of the best. Yeah, now she's one of the best around.
Yeah, they used to just what were like their dancers or something.
Yep.
Naomi and fuck who else? It was that other skinny girl. I think they let her go like prior to that Diva show.
Yeah. Uh huh.
But damn, I can't remember her name. But yeah, they were just they're just dancing.
I forgot about. See, like that's the thing about wrestling. There's so many different things that have happened, and like I mean, wrestling's been around for forever. It seems. Like I said, it's something I've loved my whole life. So, like, just that's the cool thing about wrestling is like it's always evolving. It's always changing and adapting.
Yeah.
And you have to like really. I wouldn't say cater to the fans, but you have to keep the fans interested, and you got to keep them invested.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't like what they see, I mean, they'll tell you. Like I've had plenty of people yell at me for doing some dirty shit whenever I was doing security. I'd choke somebody on the ropes or something, just dust myself off. I didn't do that. No, that wasn't me, man. This fan's yelling at me like. I'm like, it wasn't me, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
The fans get into it, dude.
Oh yeah,
the fans are fuck.
Dude, I can't even front. I went to SmackDown like a couple weeks ago. Like me and my buddy, one of my best buddies in the business. It was funny because we went to SmackDown, and then the next night we had a match, and we didn't even. That was just kind of like we didn't even know we were gonna have a match that night. It was just kind of like.
Oh, I think I remember you posted that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Shotgun Dan Weber. No, I'm not done with him. Me and him are gonna have some classics, I think, in the future.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That rivalry.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What was I gonna ask you? Damn it, I just had it in my head. It was about so Wrestling for a Cause. That's based out of Telequal, correct?
No. Tahlequah, that's UWE, so that's United Wrestling Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Now, WFC actually does like a lot of shows in just the Tulsa area, like surrounding Tulsa area. Mm-hmm. They were running a lot of shows out of Owasso, and I really enjoyed that building because it was just that building specifically. We'd get to like set up like a couple days in advance, mm-hmm. and then we could use those days to get some extra training in. And so, like, I love training with JD, like, we had a ring at his house. And so, a couple nights a week, I try to go out there, like, 2 to 3 times a week at least. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday or Saturday or whatever. Try to get some ring time, some training. And, like I said, I was just so consistent with it. Like, he really started, like, seeing something in me and really help boost my, confidence and belief in myself. But, yeah, whenever we get set up at that Owasso venue, we'd get like an extra 2 days of training at WFC. And, you just kind of go in there and you just kind of like get, you gotta, just be free with, your words, ask questions, like, just try to, I always try to like just be a sponge and like soak up knowledge and information. Mm-hmm. And like, I didn't always have to just like get in the ring. I'd watch people how they, did certain things, how they flipped over the rope or did like a roll or, hit the ropes. So, you always try to like learn, just learn whatever you can. Try to focus on your weaknesses, try to get better.
Yeah.
So, like with me, luckily, I'm more, I guess, would you say a powerhouse? Mm-hmm. So like I do like a lot of body stuff, I'm gonna cross body you. I'm gonna, I hit a pretty good spine buster. That's one thing about me and Dan, me and Shotgun. We say we have the best spine busters in Oklahoma.
Dope.
And so it's funny because one of the best spine busters I've ever hit was on him in our match. So I was like, I got that for me. So I won that match. But I also hit that spine buster on. He hit one on me after the match. That bastard. So then his little tag partner hit me with a frog splash, and man, that was fun. So, but yeah, like Wrestling for a Cause, it's a great organization. like I said, I was kind of like training and then doing this security thing, and eventually I got to like kind of I was kind of putting myself out there as like the chief of security. Got that idea from the guy I was protecting the showcase. So he gave me that chief of security idea, and really kind of ran with that, kind of play on words. So really enjoyed it. Actually had some cool designs to do, that I was gonna put on like a singlet or something, like, because I like rocking a singlet. My singlet has like my logo is like, it's almost like a turtle and a dream catcher. I don't know if you like gotten to see like a close up of it or whatever, but it's like a turtle and turtle dream catcher combo. It was a design that I thought of after one of the employees that I used to work with. She was my shift lead whenever I was out in Claremore for a little bit, and she's real artsy, does like drawings all the time. Came up with this idea for me and just drew me one day. Like, she painted this turtle dream catcher. It's got like the colors of the medicine wheel, and I was like, man, like that'd be a cool like design for me. So I threw that on a singlet, and I was actually thinking about bringing my singlet, and I know some things have, like, we thought we were gonna do this, and then like something came up, and then
it was real hectic.
Now another thing came up, and today or whatever. So I was actually gonna bring my singlet, but then it's still drying. I washed it like last night, so I didn't want to bring you a dirty singlet. So, but I brought my t-shirt,
bandana,
my bandana, belt. You said you said, hey, bring your belt.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I brought that belt everywhere with me. Like, I've taken that thing to work. I've taken that thing everywhere with me this week, and I don't know if I'm going to continue that like this week. But I mean, I love that thing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful title.
It is. It's shining in the light right now.
It is, yeah. That's that Planet Fitness. Some of the products we have, I hit it with that glance and make it real shiny. And, yeah. My buddy Aaron, he was actually the first. I showed him. He's a really big wrestling fan like me, and he's so happy for me. And I was so excited to show him like this, and I finally was able to do it. He's like, dude, it's a little smudgy, and I'm like, bro, like, yeah, I know. I've been trying to like keep it clean or whatever. He's like, hold on, watch this. Started wiping it, and it just popped, and I was like, all right, well, I know what I'm cleaning it with now.
Yeah.
I was like, let's clean it with like some steel cleaner, and he was like, no, man, hit it with this glance. Made it pop, and I was like, all right, cool.
Damn.
So that's what I was putting on it all week. I love the design of this belt, though. It's just like, it's almost like the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe I get from like the layout of it. I love it. And then just the colors. They pick the right colors for like what they want to represent for their nightlife. And so, like I said, this is American Wrestling Revolution. So this company is based out of Kansas. So been making some trips to Kansas the past couple months, and
I see that.
Man, that's cool. I never expected to be like this far in, like already like traveling, and so because that's what you really want to do for wrestling if you really want to be successful. And I know, like, if I want to be successful at this, I really got to like take advantage of it right now, because like I said, I wanted to really start when I was like younger, like 19, 20, but I just didn't have a way to do it, because at the time I'm working multiple jobs like in McElroy and Planet, and I just didn't have like the extra money, because like you can pay money to like go to school or whatever, but it's it's just like going to school. It's just like a commitment. Like you got to have the funds to it and go through the training, and I just didn't have that chance to do it at the time. But man, they say everything happens for a reason. So the time's right, and that's one reason why like I'm really glad I always stuck to my workouts, because that's one reason I think that I've gotten the opportunities that I've received so far, just because my size. Like, you know, people like seeing, you know, some big beefy guys go at it, and that's you know, go out there and just beat the shit out of each other, and that's one reason why me and Shotgun had such a good match. We were just beating the shit out of each other. So, you know, it's like people say, "Are you really hitting each other?" And I'm like, "Man, come find out, man.
Yeah.
Like,
come watch.
Come take this forearm, man. It's."
Let's
I remember
try
I
it
was
out.
forearms
Let's test
one
it
day
out.
in training, and like this one guy, he's kind of, it's funny because he's kind of taking my security spot that I was in, and I was going back and forth with forearms with him, and some of the guys that were watching, they were just like, "God damn!" Like, they were like, "Red, are you okay?" They were like, "Dude, those look nasty," and I'm like, "Yeah, they are. Try me." So yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you one after.
Yeah.
You know, when we're done. Yeah. So I'll let you get a feel of it. See if you.
Everybody was seeing a picture. Y'all fucked up.
So you see that one? I don't know if I posted this one, but later on in that, whenever me and Shotgun had that match, so the main event was the Stampede, which is like basically like the Royal Rumble. It's UWE's Royal Rumble.
Oh, I wanted to go to that one.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I couldn't make it.
I'll make sure you're at the next one.
Yeah.
Whenever the Freedom Rings Rumble, even like for WFC, that was theirs, and man, that one was cool too because I don't know if you saw those pictures, but I got to debut with Chief Red Eagle because that was really like the first time that I really got to bring KOKO to WFC. You know, before that, people had just seen me in that security role.
Yeah.
And so I got to really come in as KOKO at that time, and then I got to bring in an Oklahoma legend, Chief Red Eagle.
Badass.
So Chief Red Eagle was legendary as a child, and he's a guy that I've known for a while. I guess I really didn't realize that I knew him, but yeah, like I remember going to the bowling alleys, like before it was Andy B's, it was River Lanes, and my mom and dad and grandpa and aunt, they would all bowl leagues out there Mondays, Fridays. So I was always at the bowling alley. Pretty good bowler, so.
No big deal.
Yeah. Wanna, just bring that up. It just reminded me because at work I won there was a competition or whatever, a managing meeting that we had. I was like, oh, we're going bowling? Okay. And my assistant manager, Cole, he was like, oh, you're good at bowling? I was like, yeah. He was like, how good? And I was like, I'm pretty good, bro. I grew up in the lanes. And he was like, are you as good at bowling as you are pool? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, don't worry, man. I'm going to win us some days off. Because that was like eventually the prize or whatever. That's why I was so excited. I was like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
I'm about to win. I bowled like a 199
Jesus.
that day. So I think my best score is like 240.
God damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's my fam. Like they bowled every weekend, it seemed. Like I remember like I started doing leagues, but I don't know, I just didn't have the same like love for it that they did. I was also playing like a lot of softball at the time, so trying to balance like the two or whatever, it was just a lot. So I'm just playing softball too. Pretty, wasn't as fun as wrestling though, so I love some wrestling. It's kind of hard. I don't know. Some dudes can do both, but I'm just like, man, I'm worried about this wrestling right now. That's what I'm trying to put my all into that one. So,
what did you So, when did you transition into the KOKO character from security? Like, how long has it? How long were you in that one?
Security? So. That was it's about a year. It was almost a year. And, I really thought I was going to be involved in, like, I really thought I was going to be, like, chief of security for a lot longer. That's one of the, like, things I was talking about. Like, I had that singlet designed or whatever, had the design for it. I almost pulled the trigger on it, But then I got to debut at OKX, and then some things changed. Some plans developed for some people, and people saw me and they were like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And I was like, "Cool, got some opportunities now." So yeah, luckily, like people saw just what I was doing. Social media is a crazy thing, so people just took an interest in me, and I've gotten invited to, like I said, go to different promotions. UWE. I had just a lot of plans with WFC that I was like hoping for, and some of them come to fruition already, luckily. And but yeah, just I received a lot of other opportunities that I wasn't expecting, and getting to like go to the different promotions and like travel. And like I said, I debuted in May. It was May 1st, and so that was like whenever KOKO really arrived, and it was it's been a crazy, what's that, like 6 months, I guess, 7 months. So yeah.
Now, did you come up with the name KOKO?
So yeah, KOKO comes from my dad.
Okay.
So that's the OG KOKO. That's what everyone called him.
Okay.
Growing up, that's just my mom called him that all the time. She never called him Dennis or anything. I just always heard him call her call him KOKO. And well, I guess whenever he wasn't in trouble, if he got in trouble or yelled at for something, then it was Dennis. Then it was Dennis winning. And but yeah, everyone, his friends, he was KOKO. And so that was always the plan. If I ever really got to lace up some boots, I was gonna carry on that name, that legacy, and that's where it came from. So, which I love. I get a lot of compliments from my family. They're big supporters. His side of the family, my mom's side of the family. They're all super happy with me, happy for me. Sharing all my posts. Man, they were over the moon about this just as much as me. I remember I won that last weekend, and man, I just hugged my mom, and she was just, your dad be so proud of you, and we just hugged each other and just cried, let the tears flow, and just a cool moment. So it was great. My mom's at every event. Doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. So she was there every step of the way. Me, getting my ass beat in security, and just sitting right there front row, and just loving every minute of it. So she's the one that usually is like recording my matches, or now she's kind of passing on to my little brother. But yeah, she was the one where like she'd always be recording or something, and I'd get my good my videos to post or whatever. And so that's one of the things that some of the veterans give advice they give you is like, make sure someone's recording your match. I'm like, I got that covered. Don't worry. I got a front row seat right there, and yeah, so that's always a good thing. But yeah, like I knew what name I wanted to use, and
So who is KOKO? Like, who are you in wrestling? Because
I'm still kind of finding. I really feel like I'm still kind of finding that out, because I'm getting a lot of advice. I mean, I don't like you said, that's a lot of people refer to it as like a character or a gimmick, but for me, man, I just feel like this is really an extension of me. Like, I throw that paint on, and I become KOKO. I know what I want to do. I want to go out there and whip some ass, and it's almost I really just want to use my platform to raise awareness for like the natives, and I feel like I'm just doing it, like I'm coming in at a good time. I feel like over the past couple of years we've really won some battles. I was actually thinking about this earlier today. I think where it kind of started was the Dakota Access Pipeline, and so at that time, that was when I was working at McElroy, and I see all these natives from all over the country just going up there and protesting and doing what they can for the people, and I was like, man, I really want to be able to do that, because some of the people that I know just like in my, my family, my friends, like they're able to do it, and I wasn't in a position to be able to like go out there and help. And so I always kind of knew that if I ever got to, really take, be serious with this and really, step between those ropes, I want to use my platform for to rep for the people, rep for the natives. And so that's kind of where the design came from. With my design, one of the guys in WFC, Scott, does a lot of great logo artwork, all kind of stuff. And I kind of came to him with my my idea. I remember I sent it to him, and it looked like a 5-year-old did it. And I was like, "This is what I'm thinking: KOKO at the top, my eyes, the face paint, and then the red handprint. And obviously, the handprints are representing for the missing and murdered indigenous women, people. Like we said, that's kind of changed over the past couple months. I really feel like it started with the missing and murdered indigenous women, and then it kind of transitioned into people and now relatives, and now it's really for all people. So all the natives got to look out for each other. And I always really wanted to be able to use my platform to speak out about these issues, and obviously these issues need to be addressed. Did you hear about like the little indigenous boy that got his hair cut?
Yeah. Fucked up.
It's fucked up, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are pissed off about it, and they should be.
Yeah.
But even like, man, these issues have been around, but like, no one's talking about them. And like, if I can talk about it and just get one extra share on one of my posts and like reach out to somebody who doesn't know, that's the goal, is to just spread the message and spread awareness. And I want to be a champ for the people, and that's what I'm starting to do, I feel like. So with this design, it was something I talked to Noise about a lot. And really wanted to make sure that I went about it the most respectful way that I could. And one of their biggest things was like, make sure that you don't have the face, the handprint on your face, because that's the connection for the victims and their families that are searching for them. And that's really what, it's good to spread that message. And I talked to my aunt about it, and she was like, we need more warriors out there, making people aware of this cause. And that's one of the things that I've gotten a lot of support from like the people backstage, the other wrestlers, the managers, production, whatever it is. But it's, some people are like curious, like, well, what's it represent? And even like just being able to spread that message to them, who knows, they could go out and tell 10, 15, 100 people, and then more people are talking about it. I feel like people just aren't talking about these issues a lot, and a lot of people like are afraid to talk about them. Natives may not be, but other people are.
Yeah.
So if I can use my platform to spread these messages and spread awareness to these native issues, that's what I want to do. Another thing that I didn't mention was like the all these graves that are being found at the residential schools.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big issue that no one's talking about. And so one thing I recently started doing is writing that number on my wrist tape. And so
okay.
It's a tough subject, but I mean, it's something that people need to be aware of that aren't. People, there shouldn't be graves at schools. Those boarding schools were horrific places, and basically stripped those kids of their culture. And we're finding all these little, who knows, could be relatives of you and me, and it's sad. It's heartbreaking. And so if I can like bring awareness about these things, then that's great. But like I said, I feel like I'm coming in with it at a really good time. We got the Washington football team to change their name a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we're just on the right track. I think it's gaining more traction for, like, people who are just standing up for the people and making their voices heard more. So if I can do my part on the platform that I can, you know, that I have, then I feel like that's the end goal.
Well, I kind of figured what it was, even just from looking at pictures when you were entering the from the Titantron, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of knew, but I know some people don't know. Like,
Yeah, nice.
like I like the all black.
Yeah.
I like the all black. I like the face paint, and then I like how you wear your bandana like around your face, and then like, do you squat?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you squat
like, whenever I hit my pose, like
Yeah.
and that's another thing is just like coming up with like certain things like to be successful in this, you want to be different. Like,
Yeah.
you want to catch people's eyes. Like, oh, like look at that guy. Like he's got that face paint on. He's got he's got that bandana. Oh, what's that handprint mean? Like, you know, these little things are really what's helping me, you know, get noticed in some, you know, one way or another. And so, like, yeah, I usually, you know, just hit my pose, and that was actually an suggestion from JD. He was telling me that, you know, just in training when we're really trying to like develop me and come up with new ideas. He was like, you know, I think you should hit like a squat, like in the ring, and just, you know, maybe, you know, whenever you're coming out. And eventually, like, I started throwing that. I got another suggestion. I think it was from Josh actually. And I got another suggestion. He was like, you should like reach out. And so like I basically just like kind of combine some, you know, some of their ideas and then some of my own, because like I usually just like hit the squat, you know, let that pose kind of digest, you know, kind of do my reach out. Maybe if there's like the camera or whatever right in front of you, you know, really reach out, and then, you know, hit that fist, you know, hit that raised fist up there. And, you know, that's kind of, I always do it with this arm because this is like really like my indigenous sleeve. So, you know, I got my, you know, turtle right there. I'm Turtle Clan. And so got that, got my TP, got a couple TPs actually. Even my TP has my little turtle in it. So these are my tattoos, by the way. This is my gear. It's me.
His warrior arm.
But yeah, I got my indigenous land right there, and that's where I actually build myself from too. You know, people are like, you know, where should we say you're from? Like, I'm from the indigenous land.
Man.
So
Tight.
yeah, I got my dream catcher on my elbow, and yeah, so always trying to just think of like new ideas. Like I got a couple other shirt ideas that I'm gonna drop probably before the end of the year, and so yeah, so working on those right now. So I got like a jersey style concept, like kind of like the pro football team jerseys, like t-shirts. So I'm gonna do something like that, and then the, you know, AWR, you know, guy who's in charge of that, Derek, he came out with a badass design for me. So we'll hopefully get to drop that here, you know, within the next couple months. So yeah, I might have like 4 shirts by the end of the year. I got some ideas for it. So there's this one picture that I had. It's actually I think it's still the profile picture of my my actual KOKO page. It's the one where like I'm squatted, and like got, like that was one of the first times I actually did wear that black paint, and like got my hair like just kind of like dripping, like, you know, hanging down. And it's a badass picture. It's like my favorite picture that I've taken so far in, like, you know, wrestling. And but yeah, thinking about that, turning like that into a shirt. So me and my like I said, me and my buddy Aaron, we're just always brainstorming ideas. I talk to him like every day about certain things, and I'm like, hey man, what do you think of this? Like, hey, like, what about this idea? And like I'll tell him like, you know, certain plans or something that, you know, I might have, or you know, promoter reaches out and like, hey, you know, you're probably gonna have you're probably gonna be working this guy or working this guy, and I'm like, oh hell yeah. And like I'll talk to him about it and be like, hey man, guess who I'm working, you know, this show. guess who I'm about to, have this match with? And he's like, oh, hell yeah. That'll be dope. So, but yeah, he's big supporter of KOKO. I call my fans Cocoa Nuts.
Cocoa Nuts?
Yeah.
Tight.
Cocoa Nuts.
I'm a Cocoa Nut.
Thank you. We'll get you a shirt.
Hell yeah.
I'll put you down for my next order. And yeah,
Yes.
like I said, whenever I drop these new designs, I got some good ones, and I think I think they're gonna sell out. Luckily, I've sold every shirt that I bought. I ordered whenever I first started, I was like, man, I don't know how many shirts I should buy. I don't know who's actually gonna buy these, or whatever. So I ordered 50, and then that went pretty quick, and I was like, all right, cool.
Badass.
And then I ordered next one I was 75, and I just recently ran out of those. I think I sold the last one. It was a 5X.
God damn.
And so I hung on to that one for a little bit, and at the show this past weekend, I had a guy, a one out there, and he was like, hey man, you got any more shirts? And I was like, kind of looked at him, and I was like, I got a 5X, and he was like, oh, that'll work, bro, that'll work. I was like, oh hell yeah, okay. So this year he gave me an extra 5. I was like, hey,
yeah,
appreciate it. So, but yeah, $5 of every shirt of that design. That's the design that I'm going to keep out. Or keep with me.
Yeah.
Whenever forever long I'm doing this. But yeah, anytime I sell a shirt from them, I donate $5 of that to Noise, and they, I know they're gonna put good use to that money. So
yeah,
been able to make 2 donations so far. So I'm excited. I'll keep doing that, and so that's one thing that I enjoy doing. So.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they sold out. It's a really great design.
Thank you.
Looks fucking dope.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. It's a badass design.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see it, everyone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll post it. Don't worry. Shout out. So, but yeah, I like doing different things like this too. So this is I don't know if you're familiar with NTVS Natives Clothing.
Yeah.
This is one of their designs. This is one of the ones I've wanted this one for years. I feel like, and they just didn't get I didn't have my size or whatever at the time, and I think they finally got it back in stock, and I was like, oh hell yeah, getting this one. So.
Shout out Stephen Paul Judd.
Yeah, Stephen Paul Judd.
Come on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some great T-shirts, man.
Yeah.
They got stacked
I got
ass
this
fucking
other
shirts.
badass design along with this one. It had that neon headdress on it. It's that grayed out. It's that grayed out image, and it's got the headdress is neon. It's badass. So
Damn.
I thought it was perfect, for
nightlife.
the nightlife champion.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm in this title match, so if I win, this will be the perfect shirt for it. So.
What's your music? What do you come out to?
So it's actually a song that Scott also came up with. Like I said, he does a lot of that production, and he actually came up with it. I was kind of telling him my idea backstage at a show one day, and then he was like, I got an idea. And I just kind of told him the drums kind of all kind of in the distance almost, and it's just got a lot of good. It's got a good beat to it. It's got a good little drum beat to it. But yeah, it's called the Menace or something. It's by the Hill or something. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it's a nice little beat for me. My cousin is actually in a band, and they're more like a metal band, I guess you would call them. And yeah, I'm actually having him kind of work something out for me. It's a little heavier, so yeah, that'll hopefully be something I can come out to here soon in the future. So I just that song, the song I'm using now is cool, but it's kind of short. So I won this past weekend, and then it was almost I was really celebrating, walking back, to the back, and then my music just kind of cut off, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm done here. So, and I always kind of keep that in mind, when I'm making my entrance too. I'm like, man, I can't make my entrance too long.
Yeah.
So, but luckily, like I said, I'm more stoic, I guess, whenever I break curtains. So I can just kind of like hit the ring and then just kind of go straight to it, hit my poses, and so. But yeah, hopefully, soon I'll have that new song. It'll be a little bit heavier, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. So,
Now your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is pretty easy, just in Oklahoma here. So, it's
How so?
just being native.
Okay,
Getting
okay,
a lot of
okay.
support, especially
Okay.
like in Tahlequah.
Cool. Yeah.
Like, yeah, going down there. There's how we like to say like you're over. And,
Yeah. Over. I've heard
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty over in Tahlequah right now, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
There's actually a 2-night tournament next month.
Is there?
WFC's running, and so I guess this month actually later. So we're having a Drillers. We'll be at the Drillers One Oak Field tomorrow,
I saw that.
and I'm
Yeah.
stoked about that one. That one's just a cool little thing that you don't really expect to be able to do. But we kind of ran another show like that back in July, at the beginning of July, at Safari Joe's. And so that was cool.
I remember hearing about that, but
Yeah.
I didn't know you at the time.
It was badass, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was cool because, we got there, pretty much got everything set up, and then just kind of got to hang out at the water park all day. And I hadn't been to, Safari Joe's. I still call it Big Splash. But
Big Splash.
yeah. So that's what I grew up on.
Yeah,
was Big
same
Splash. And so it was cool. I hadn't been there in forever, and it's changed so much. But it's changed, but I guess it's still the same. So you got the lazy river, and then the
Wave pool.
the wave pool. Which I don't know what the hell was up with the wave pool that day, but it took forever for us to get some damn waves. So I was like, whatever. But yeah, it was cool. Let's see. But yeah, that was just a fun show, but that was a tiring show. And we didn't think about this till the end of the day. But yeah, we, set up the ring, just do some different activities, all day at the water park. And then, we have the show, but then afterwards we got to tear down. And then we've been in the sun all day.
Yeah.
And oh man, it was tiring and exhausting, but such a fun show. And I think that's exactly what the Drillers show will be like tomorrow too. So, but yeah, I'm stoked about that one.
Where's the ring gonna be at?
That little area by the bullpen. It's they got the bullpen and then the grassy little field, and then where that concrete is, I think it's by the little playground or whatever. But I think there's a flat area right there that we're gonna be at. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then later on this month, WFC's running a 2-night tournament, and that'll be the Ryder Memorial Cup. And so it'll be my first time in that, hopefully. So
Now is that King of the Ring?
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of.
So yeah, first round's usually 1-on-1, and then there's 2 fatal 4-way matches usually.
Okay.
And then the winners of those 2 fatal 4-way matches, then they compete in the finals at the end of the night.
Nice.
So I got to be in my first Ryder Cup last year, so that was cool. So I wasn't, I think, I was still, chiefing it up, but security. But yeah, so it's crazy just because I went to all these shows last year and just kind of being backstage and having my security role at certain shows, and then I was always thinking about this year and next year. I'm like, man, next year I'm gonna be in that Freedom Rings Royal Rumble or Freedom Rings Rumble. I'm gonna be in the Ryder Cup next year. And all these things that are just coming to fruition for me, it's just, man, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I'm just over the moon about it. So I'm just living it.
How was that Royal Rumble?
Man, it was awesome.
Was that your first like Royal Rumble?
Yeah. So
It looks chaotic.
I debuted in a battle royal.
Okay.
And so the difference, like with the battle royal compared to a rumble, is like in a battle royal, everyone's in the ring starting off, and then you're just getting tossed out and shit. And so then in a rumble, 2 people start, 1 guy enters, next guy enters, so on and so forth. This guy gets tossed, this guy gets tossed. Guys are still coming out. And so it's exhausting. So, if you're one of those earlier picks, you got to have, some good cardio.
Yeah.
Got to, kind of bob and weave sometimes and just, kind of be in and out of certain things and, just kind of hit your spots when you can. So, but yeah, I love, man, it's cool because I've gotten to be a part of like, battle royals now, rumbles. I've been in a couple tag team matches. That was my first like actual match was a tag match. And so I just kind of it was cool because I kind of just got thrown into that one, and I got a lot of good things said after that match. We came back and had some good things said about me. So that was a good feeling because I was super nervous because that was like my first like actual match, my first singles match. That was in UWE actually. So that was something all in itself because then it's just you and another guy.
Yeah.
Just, that's you're always nervous before a show. I'm always nervous before a show. Just kind of like getting in that zone. But once, it's like, almost your time to go, go out. And then, I'm warming up in the back, maybe hitting some, banded workouts or, something, doing some flies, doing some curls or something. Just kind of getting, getting pumped up for it. And then, you break curtain, man, and it's an experience. It's like, man, you're here. Like, it's time to go to work. Time to
go.
Yeah. Wow. So I've been doing. Do you watch UFC at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
not in a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. Like I watched a lot more UFC back growing up, but now lately I've been busy with wrestling.
Yeah.
So which is something I was super excited for the Dustin Poirier Conor McGregor fight, and then that was my first night in UWE, I think actually, and so. Got back from Tahlequah like right when that fight ended. I dropped my buddy off, and I was trying to head over to my buddy Jordan's house, and he texted me and he was like, "Oh, bro," and I was like, "No," and I was like, started going on Facebook and like everything. I was like, Conor McGregor broke his ankle, broke his leg. What? I was like, how the fuck did that happen? So. But, the reason I brought up UFC is because, Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rose Namajunas. One of my, like, things before I, like, really break curtain and trying to get in my zone, I just tell myself I'm the best. Just kind of repeating that, and really just kind of, like, getting that in my head to where, I go out there and I can perform and, I make myself believe it.
Yeah.
You gotta have that confidence, going in that ring, and it's, if you don't have that confidence, that's whenever, you might make a mistake. You might, end up hurting yourself or something, or, so you gotta be confident. I'm always, like I said, I'm always nervous going into a match now, but I feel like if you're not nervous, something's wrong. Like something's off. You should be nervous, like, you're about to go out here and you're about to put on a show, you're about to perform, about to kick some ass. And, who knows? You might get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like we said, people want to call it fake. Well, I got kneed in the head last weekend, and I felt that for a couple days. I had a big ass knot right here, and a couple weeks ago, I don't know what I did, but my whole forearm was bruised right here. Like all down my wrist, my forearm. It's as they say, it's not ballet.
Yeah.
You're in there and you're putting your body, through some stuff. And I'm sore, I'm bruised. Usually the day after the show, I plan to do nothing. I, wake up, I sleep in, I rest, I relax, put my medical card to use, and then, just kind of chill out all day. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to take a day off from the gym because the gym's really like where I, find my peace and my balance.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually I still end up going to the gym. But that's about all I'll get accomplished that day. Go to the gym, have some food. I have a bad like habit of like drinking pop. And so like usually that's like my one day where, after a show I'll, really drink some pop, some cherry Coke or some Sprite or something. But usually during the week, especially lately, I've been a little bit better about, making sure I'm getting my water in. And so I'm actually about to try to change up my diet a little bit. I eat a lot of fast food. Mm-hmm. That's one thing about working out so much is like I eat whatever I want, and it's not a good thing. Like I had like a Baconator and like 10 chicken nuggets and fries and I don't know, I think I had like a cherry Fanta or something the other day, and I ate a lot of fast food. So I'm actually trying to change up my diet a little bit so I can actually like lean out and stay on top of my water and this and that. And I have wrestling to thank for that. Wrestling's been the one thing that I'm really buckling down and dedicating and making myself disciplined because I'm a champion now. I want to be a champion in other organizations, and to be that, you gotta make sure you can go in the ring, and so I'm just trying to make some healthier changes. I guess it's about time for me to do that for myself. So
yeah. Yeah, and then go to AEW.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that'd be that'd be something.
If you had the choice, WWE or AEW?
Definitely AEW.
Nah.
I love AEW. I love obviously we grew up on WWE.
WWF.
But WWF. Well, like I said, I was a WCW guy. Actually, so I think that was because the Undertaker scared the hell out of me back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like I remember, like my dad, I'd be wrestling around with my dad or something, and then he'd do like the roll on the eyes and the back of the head. He was really good at that. Oh, shit. And I'd be like, ah! Like freak me out. But like with wrestling today, I feel like one of the most important things is to be able to have that creative freedom.
Yeah.
And with WWE, it's pretty much like you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Whereas other places, it's a little more free. You can do whatever you want. So
that creative control.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So, I've just been a fan of AEW ever since it's, come around, and man, I would love it. That's the dream. So my debut, the day of my debut, I actually did a seminar with Fuego del Sol.
Really?
And that was phenomenal. It was amazing. And, he was inspiring. He just told us, he gave us so many golden nuggets. I have a list of notes I'll show you. But just a list of notes, and every once in a while I make sure that I just kind of like look over those notes again. Just, it's interesting because like I did that seminar, and then now we're like 4, 5, 6 months in, to my wrestling career, and that's what I can look back on and like, I know how to apply this better. I know how to apply this better. Merch is a big thing. You want to, if you're a good guy, if you're a face, you want to make sure you have that merch on you.
Yeah.
Sell some shirts. I came out with these little stickers. My shift lead now, she actually made the stickers for me, and I plan to sell them for like $1 or $2. They're not very expensive to make or whatever. But then I just ended up giving them to a whole bunch of little kids or whatever. They'd ask for a picture, and they'd ask for a picture, ask for an autograph, and be like, "You want a sticker? Here you go. You want a sticker? Here you go." And so, my I'd say my biggest fan's my mom, but my littlest biggest fan, her name is actually Dallis too.
Okay.
And so that's a cool thing. She's adorable, and she first saw me, I think, at Tahlequah. I think she saw me at my in UWE first, and then she started coming out to WFC. She was at UWE again, and so like I always make sure that I take the time and take a picture with her, or, talk to her a little bit, because I look at it where I remember being that kid. I remember being, going to these shows and looking at these people like they were superheroes. Like these are my heroes growing up.
Yeah.
And so if I can be that for a kid, then that's exactly what I want to be. It's, I don't know, man. It's a dream come true whenever you get to like inspire somebody like that. And I don't want to say I inspired anybody just yet, but having that little twinkle in a little kid's eye, it's a good feeling. Mm-hmm. It makes it worth it. It makes it like, this belt's cool and it looks, it's beautiful, but seeing these little kids light up and cheer and really want you to kick this guy's ass, like that's motivating. It's the best feeling you can have, I think, as a wrestler, is making a difference in these kids' lives. Who knows what they're going through in their life and school, but if we can give them this little bit of 2 hours of entertainment and just fun-filled action, then it's what we want to do.
Yeah,
so
that
it's
escape.
Fun.
Yeah. I remember WWE used to come to town. Well, they still do, but I mean, like that's when Triple H, freaking Mankind, Kane. That's
Taker,
when like that's when that roster was so stacked.
Yeah,
and they would come here, and it was at the convention center, Tulsa Convention Center, and like I didn't know like what a house show was.
Yeah,
like I didn't know what the hell that was, and I thought it was like Raw or SmackDown,
right?
And then when we got there, it was just like
there's no stage.
There's no stage.
There's just the ring or whatever, and like little curtain or whatever.
Yeah, and then like their music hits still, and it's like, well, what is this? Like, are we? I thought it was gonna be on TV.
Yeah,
but me and my boy Frank went, and we went to a couple shows. But goddamn, it was fun watching on TV. But like there, like it was just like everybody was like cheering, and it was an escape, dude.
Yeah.
Like. And then you see these people that you see on TV, and I mean, it's just so different, dude. Like you said, like being a kid, it was like, holy shit, like like seeing the superhero or something, like just seeing these
real
people.
Life superheroes, though.
Yeah,
you get to like go and see,
experience that and shit. Yeah, and it's like, then like when you get older, it doesn't hit the same, I guess. Because you kind of start to realize like what it really is, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you still like wrestling?" Like you said earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, am I lame or? Yeah. But you have to like, I like this. Like you don't have to fucking like this. Like you watch movies though, right? Like
I mean, Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
that shit's not real.
For real. Yeah, I mean, let me like what I like, But
Grey's Anatomy,
Dexter. Yes. But like. When we were growing up, dude, like WCW, like I remember that was my first show that I watched, and it seemed fucking real.
Mm-hmm.
That was when the Outsiders came.
Yeah.
And NWO.
A great time in wrestling.
Fuck, dude. It looked real. Like they came in with bats and they just started like beating up WCW, and that's when they threw Rey Mysterio against the trailer.
That's
like
exactly what I was just thinking of. Yeah, the lawn dart. Yeah, they just.
Fuck yeah, dude! And then that was such a, because I didn't know what it was. I was like,
Hulk Hogan turned, and like that was like,
oh man,
just such a swerve. Like that's the cool thing about wrestling too, is like you don't always get what you want. Like as a fan, like you sometimes like your hero loses. Sometimes like the bad guy wins.
Yeah.
So it's a fun, like that's why it's like it's it's always evolving, and like you see how wrestling's kind of changed over the years, where it's like not always like these big, like humongous guys anymore. It's like guys that can just go.
Yeah.
You know, some of the like best ones that I like, you know, growing well, even like before AJ Styles went to WWE, like I loved watching AJ Styles in Impact. Like that's like
Oh,
TNA
yeah, I remember
Impact.
that.
Like that's really why I enjoyed Impact, and to see these guys like change and you know adapt to like certain styles or whatever. And then there was a lot of questions like, man, is AJ Styles going to be as successful as he was, you know, in Impact in Japan? Can he do that in WWE?
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of the WWE Untolds, and it's like the little documentaries. And man, his going into the Royal Rumble, man, he was like, man, is anyone gonna know who AJ Styles is? And yeah, that place blew up. I remember that moment when he debuted, came out at number 3. And man, everyone was like, "Whose fucking music is this?"
For real, yeah.
Everyone's looking like Roman Reigns in the ring, just like
Yeah, looking at the
squinting,
screen.
looking confused. And then, bam, phenomenal.
Yo,
Just AJ Styles comes out, and that arena's going crazy. Like people knew who AJ Styles was.
yeah.
And
That was a big pop.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was really one of the reasons that like I loved, you know, TNA Impact. But dude, even Impact, TNA, something like that. Like if I was able to have like a match there,
Yeah.
that would be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Impact, Ring of Honor. That's another cool thing about wrestling. It's not just like WWE. Like we say like WWE, AEW.
Yeah.
Like yeah, those are the two like biggest ones. But I mean, you got to look at New Japan Pro Wrestling too.
True.
But like, there's so many options that people don't even know about, and I think that's one thing like about certain wrestling fans. They only know about these big companies.
Yeah.
But do you know like about your local show? Like, do you know like there's companies all around Oklahoma and Kansas and Texas and Arkansas and Missouri, and these are like places where you know I'm trying to go, and I'm trying to like you know meet the right people, network, and just you know hopefully receive some more opportunities. So a personal goal for myself was to like start getting booked every weekend. Like I have a show this day, you know, first weekend, second weekend, third, you know, fourth week of the month, and you know I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. And so this month's a great example. Like I got the you know Drillers show tomorrow. I'll be in UWE next weekend, September 11th. I got that 2-night tournament in Tahlequah. So I'll be in Tahlequah back-to-back weekends. And so, and then end of the month I go back to Kansas. So,
God damn.
you know, like me being able to, you know, achieve that feat is a small victory in itself for me.
Yeah.
Just because that was like the goal that I set for myself in like June. You know, that's one of the things that like Fuego in his seminar mentions is like try to get on a show every weekend. And so now like my goal eventually is to do, you know, try to find a show Friday night. You know, maybe turn around, you know, Saturday, do another show. You know, some shows run on Sundays too. So, just kind of, I think it would depend. Like, I don't know. I'm still like developing myself and trying to get to that level. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not too far away in some people's eyes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm starting to kind of reach out to other promotions too. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'm excited. I'm trying, like I said, I'm just trying to wrestle at least every weekend, and then eventually it's just gonna hopefully develop more and more. And yeah, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it will, man. It'll all pan out, and it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope following you now, and like I see like all the progress you've made, and all the posts and all the love too. Like that's fucking dope, man. Like all the love that you receive on your pictures and just everything, man. Like it's fucking badass, man. Like
Thank
I'm
you.
glad
Thank
like you got to come over here and talk about everything, and I had a great time, dude. It was fucking good.
Cool.
Time just flew too.
Where we at now?
About 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, I told you. Time just fucking goes, dude.
Yeah. I hope the people aren't bored. I hope they're still listening.
Oh fuck, but yeah, dude. I definitely want to check out a show. Might not be the 11th, but after that, you said.
So WFC has the 11th September. So September 11th is UWE, and that's in Tahlequah. September 17th and 18th, we'll go back to Tahlequah, but that'll be WFC. It's a 2-night tournament. It's the Ryder Herring Memorial Cup. And then the 25th, I think that's September 25th. That's when I go back to Kansas, and that'll be in Hoisington.
Okay.
So it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. That drive's not very fun. There's like nothing out there.
Oh fuck! All right, before we cut it, real quick.
Yeah.
Top five wrestlers.
Ooh, okay.
Real quick.
So Eddie Guerrero is top on my list. Definitely Eddie Guerrero. He's my he's my all time. I might get a lot of hate for this, but Goldberg is still like my number 2 probably. Just of all time favorites for me personally. Some people are not fans of Goldberg though. Like he gets a lot of hate.
He does.
Especially now since they keep bringing him back.
Yeah.
And I'm like the fan in me, I'm just like, oh, fucking Goldberg. Like, yeah.
I still enjoy it.
It's like,
yeah.
I'm still like, I don't know. I haven't enjoyed the last couple times like they brought him back, but I mean, about like there's probably like 2 or 3 years ago when he like made his like first return, and he like I think that was like when he was having his shit with Brock Lesnar. And he won, and then he won like the Universal Championship, and I was like, okay, like I'm kind of into this. And people were like, oh, no, that sucks. They were like, no, he's too old. And I'm like, I'm a fan, man. No, Goldberg's where it's at. So let's see, that's 2. Probably Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
So I didn't watch a lot of Shawn Michaels back in the day, but man, I remember his return in 2002, and that guy could be the greatest of all time. Just like in ring, like his body of work is just phenomenal, and he's just one of the greatest to ever do it. Like another one, I'd say Chris Jericho, just because Jericho really has reinvented himself so many times. True. and kept himself relevant. And he's really similar to Shawn Michaels. Like one of my favorite matches is Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 19. And that was just a classic. I think it opened the show, and it was phenomenal. And then you thought you were going to have this like little great, moment at the end. They shook hands, they hugged, and then Jericho just kicked him in the dick. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, no. And so I just had this great moment. And like, yeah, it was phenomenal. And then like he fell to his knees and he was right in his face, and then he just pushed him down. He just walked off. Yeah. I was like, that's great. Oh, that's great. Let's see. Number 5. I know I'm like forgetting just somebody, but I want to mention like one new guy that I really enjoy, and like he's super just over right now. Finn Balor. I don't know if you're familiar with Finn Balor, but yeah, I love Finn Balor. He's just great.
The demon.
So, yeah, when he puts that demon on, and like yeah, that's kind of like, I feel like, I guess I can, one of the reasons I'm such a fan of him is just because like I can kind of relate to him. Like, I'm Dallis, but whenever I throw that paint on, that's when KOKO comes out, and that's just a cool feeling. Like I said, I don't really feel like it's a gimmick. It's just more of an alter ego of me. Like it's just who I am, but just in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, tons of I could go on for my favorites for forever. So
Yeah, we'll have to when you come back,
oh yeah, dude,
bro.
definitely. Let's get Riker on here in
For
Bronson.
real.
So
Yeah.
all three of us. So
Trey.
Yeah, Trey.
Yeah, bro. You're welcome back anytime. And yeah, man, we'll try to set up something with Riker and other people too. Like,
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
mean, like we're all connecting, dude.
Yeah,
It's fucking dope how we're all like connected now. But yeah, man, we'll try to set something up, and you're welcome back anytime, dude. Like if you have something you want to promote or anything,
Yeah.
come on and we'll talk about it and just get the word out and
Yeah. Follow
get
the
it going.
page, just the
Yeah,
KOKO page, and
yeah. Tell everybody how to follow you.
It's have my own athlete page. It's just KOKO KOKO. If you find my page, you'll find the KOKO page because I share every single thing that I put out on that page. So, social media, Instagram, it's the KOKO93. You can be follow on that. That one's not strictly wrestling. That's my everyday life too. So you might see some work stuff on that. Might see probably see some animals. My dinglehead dog Darby. So he's the happiest dog ever, but he's
Darby Allen.
Darby Allen.
Okay.
That's where it came from. Yep.
Yes.
So, yeah, Darby. I love that dog. So, I love the other ones too, but that one's just such a happy dog. He's just always just like, just so in your face, so loving. I get home and he's just like, "Hey, you're back."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I am." Yeah.
I always come back.
Yeah, he's the only one that actually like lets me wrestle with him too.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll put him in a full Nelson, and he's just his tail's just wagging. He's loving life. I'll super kick him, and he's loving it. I'll throw in I'll just knee him sometimes, and then now he's getting big enough where he actually tries to fight back or something. But it was so funny because a couple weeks back, he was sitting on the couch, and one of the other dogs took his bone or whatever, and he legit just dive bombed on them, and I was just like, "Holy shit, that was cool!" And yeah, it was the funniest thing. Me and my roommate just cracked up. So.
Oh fuck yeah! I have to meet Darby sometime.
Yeah, dude, I'll bring him over.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Wrestle Natty.
Yeah.
Oh, Natalia.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for coming on. And yeah, you're welcome back anytime. Everybody, go follow him. Keep track of him.
Sweet.
So everybody, if you can, make the shows. He's busy all this month, so let's try to get everybody there to support him.
Yeah, man, support indie wrestling, not
Oh,
just
hell
me,
yeah.
just indie wrestling in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if you're a wrestling fan, it's not just WWE and AEW, man. Go find a local show.
Yeah, we got it everywhere now. Yeah. And get out and about. We've all been locked up, so get out and about and go to these shows.
If you want to try it, if you ever want to, step in the ring, let me know, and
Ooh.
we'll get you in there too.
Oh god, my legs. Yeah, I'll be announcer though. But
okay. Maybe you can manage. I can
be your manager.
Riker and Bronson. We can all get in there.
I'll be Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
The Bloodline.
The Bloodline. Yes.
Yeah.
So I got some. I don't want to spill too much, but I got some pretty good native stables that I'd like to run. So I just need some more natives, man. People out there, if you want to get in the ring,
hit them up.
WFC, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Not just WFC. There's another company called WA, Wrestling Against Hunger. Okay. They do free training Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh shit!
Out in, I think it's Turley.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You heard that, everybody. Natives, need more natives out there. But if you're just interested in wrestling, hit up Dallis or WA. Yeah.
WFC.
Yeah. Free training. Dude, that's a dope.
If you're in Kansas, AWR, bro.
WR, bro.
Wichita, Hoisington.
Damn.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Fucking everywhere.
Yeah. I'm trying to be.
But yeah, everybody go follow him, keep up with him, go to his shows, support indie wrestling. If you're not already, please follow Okie Podcast on Facebook page. My personal is Russell Sun Eagle. You can add me, I'll add you back. Okie Podcast, one word, on Instagram. My personal is Rustamus49. Yeah. So thanks again, bro, for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. It was awesome. My first podcast, so
his first one.
It was awesome. I loved it. I'll be back. Don't worry.
He'll be back. Yeah, we're gonna get it again. And so yeah, I guess until next time, everybody. Peace.